Very funny.
for pizza. So I'm used to making authentic 5-year award winning New York style pizza. That's what I'm used to making. That's what I would, because I made it for customers, because I also made the pizza, served as a manager. I ran the store, had like I was in charge of most of the store, and I'm a snob now. So like any pizza that I have after that, it's tainted because I've already had the best pizza.
All
So
right.
when I hear like Domino's pizza, I'm like, man, get out of here with that frozen shit.
All right, let's get started. Everyone go on mute. What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Snug Wrestling Podcast. It feels like forever. Actually didn't record on Friday Night SmackDown. I was not in the country, so we missed out on a SmackDown review and all that good stuff. But we're back now. The WWE is still doing the European tour. WWE Raw started at an earlier time. I don't know how long this is going to keep up, but I hope for our sake, not the European fans, that this European tour is over soon because it's kind of messing up my weekly schedule. But on this episode of Monday Night Raw, I should say Monday Midday Raw, they were in Scotland, Glasgow, and this was a night where we were going to see Lyra versus Raquel Rodriguez, Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable, Penta versus Braun Breaker, and so much more. And to help me go over what we saw today, I have my crew with me. I have Mr. Blood, Toxic, BT Knight, and Tommy will probably join us later on as we go through the show. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah,
All right, so John Cena started off the show again, and just like last week's Monday Night Raw, John Cena starts the show, cuts one hell of a promo. Cody Rhodes comes out, the savior of every wrestling fan, and just like last week, no physicality. But this week was a little bit different because John Cena, he had a lot of interesting things to say that got me thinking and got my brain kind of going. The most important things that John Cena said was that he was going to ruin wrestling and he's going to win number 17, surpassing Ric Flair, and he's going to retire the belt and take it home with him, forcing the WWE to create a new toy belt. John Cena also mentioned the fact that the spinner belt that he created a long time ago got a lot of heat. A lot of people did not like that belt. I was one of them, and I know that belt pissed a lot of people off when it first came out. So, just for like the sake of pissing people off, if John Cena wins number 17, I want to see him bring back that spinner belt just for like one last hurrah, just for shits and giggles. So John Cena, he's tearing the crowd, the audience in half. Basically, we're proving his point. We are the worst of the worst. John Cena, yeah, he cut another great promo. But then Cody Rhodes came out for the save, and we get a little confrontation. But what did you guys think about this opening segment? Blood, let's go with you first, and while you're holding that ugly ass belt.
So the reason I'm holding this incredible belt is because, yeah, look, this is a great segment. Now, last week I had some massive complaints about the promo segment, and it wasn't so much John Cena's part that I had a problem with. I had a problem with Cody Rhodes's segment part of the promo last week. A lot of people liked Cody's promo last week. A lot of people did enjoy his fucking 3.5 minutes out of the entire half-hour segment. I thought it was a colossal waste of time. Um, because in my head, I'm thinking if they're in the States, then I don't see Cody coming out for a response. But because they're on the European tour and they're all just there as it is, He came out. So and I made no shortcuts about it. I thought Cody's promo last week was incredibly lackluster. Since Royal or the Royal Rumble, or not Royal Rumble, sorry, Elimination Chamber, we went a 2 week gap, right, without hearing hide nor hair about this shit. Okay, we had Cody come out, cut one very impassioned promo after Elimination Chamber on the Raw. Then on that following Friday, he cut a pretty shit promo that everybody kind of universally agreed was pretty mid. Um, and then we just kind of toiled away waiting to hear from John, right? So John came out last week, gave a great one. Cody came out, no physicality. I mean, and we talked about this. Look, if you did to me what you did to Cody at Elimination Chamber in front of God, the people, and everybody else, there is like, when I see you, it's on sight. You feel me? So like, and that's how I feel like it should be. After what they did to Cody, for Cody to come out just to talk to him, pissed me off. But also it's because he said a whole lot of nothing. He did like one or two quick one-liners, and then the segment was over. At a half hour, John takes, 18 minutes of it. Both their entrances after that's like another fucking 8 minutes, and Cody gets 4 to cut the promos. Like, what the fuck? So this week, it was a 20-minute segment. John comes out, great fanfare here, as in the booze, really selling it, not smiling, not running to the ring, taking his time, letting the audience have it again, highlighting these. Like, I told y'all, I was done, man. I called out a little defenseless kid last week or last week, and you guys think I'm the bad guy. You guys turned that poor kid into a meme, an internet joke, and I'm the villain. This is exactly what I was talking about. You're horrible people. And he's right. They're hypocrites. He called that kid out to his face. The whole rest of the world decided they were going to turn this kid into a joke online. And now he's going to go down in wrestling internet lore as that kid from the heel turn John Cena promo. And it's never going to change. Just like that little girl who got mad that The Miz won, or that guy with the open eyes and the open mouth when Undertaker lost to Lesnar. That kid is going to live in infamousy, as that kid in that promo. And John used that kid as a conduit to keep hammering home his point to the crowd. You don't deserve me. What you deserve is to have your hearts broken. And you brought up that spinner belt. This
Shit's
incredible piece of wrestling history.
Worst belt ever created.
Have you seen Jeff Hardy's TNA belt? Anyway, and and literally, he's like, I introduced this belt back in 2005. You guys tried to shred me to atoms. Even though I did it for you, I did it for the kids to give the kids a more marketable title they could play with. I did it because it's best for business. It's what we needed. We needed a freshened, shaken up title scene, and a new look was, what we needed. And by the way, this nowhere near as bad as the Universal Championship. I'm sorry. And as far as it was concerned, he said, I'm going to ruin wrestling, which I thought was a great line, because so many people throughout history of the love of professional wrestling have always touted that in mainstream wrestling, John Cena was one of those guys that they felt, quote unquote, ruined it for them, turned it PG, turned it into a softer style, was too safe, couldn't wrestle. It was all characters. And people who dropped out of wrestling after the Attitude Era and started leaving during the Ruthless Aggression Era, when John Cena started becoming that mainstay, a lot of people attribute the failure of WWE losing its audience to running with him as their forefront of their entire company, their face. So this promo was so great because he's like, look, you guys thought I ruined wrestling before? Oh, hold my beer. I am going to ruin professional wrestling. I'm going to ruin it for all the people at home. I'm going to ruin it for all the people here. I'm going to ruin it for the boys and the girls in the back. for everyone. I am going to go into WrestleMania, walk out the 17-time champion, and I am going to go home and retire as champion. I am taking that title with me, and WWE is going to have to make a new one because they will never get this one back. So he's talking about holding the Undisputed Championship hostage. He doesn't just want to win at Mania to solidify his career. He wants it to hurt. And then Cody coming out this time in a promo I thought was actually fucking. We got somewhere this week. He does slightly mention what happened in Elimination Chamber, saying, it's not because you hit me with this or yada yada yada. But he straight up said, "Look, I was wrong. I see that what's happened. I see that you're actually serious, that you're genuine, that you are hurt. That this hurts you to do this. You're doing it because you feel you have to. You're hurting." Painting that more conflicted side of John Cena. Because John Cena turned heel, but he didn't want to. He felt like he had no other choice left. And Cody was really good at helping hammer that home by telling him, you are genuine. This isn't just an act. You feel like you had to do this because you felt so hurt, your emotions, the betrayal by the fans, you couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And it was valid. And I thought it was great. Cody trying to get him to fight him was awesome. But I would like to know before I end, how weird does it feel to see John Cena be the guy who runs away from the fucking fight, to leave the ring?
And he got cut off. Fucking Blood, man. Jesus Christ. Well, while we wait on Blood, let's hear from you real quick, Toxic. What were your thoughts so far of the opening segment this week with John Cena, which was, I thought, it was very similar to last week's, but what stood out about this to you?
Cena's right. The wrestling fans of today, they're hypocrites. They're not happy with anything. Mm-hmm. They're not happy with anything. Not that, but that doesn't mean he should go and ruin wrestling for everyone. Wrestling's gonna live no matter what. And that's where I think in this story, if John Cena is going to be the destroyer of professional wrestling, Cody's is going to be the savior of it. Mm-hmm. He's going to save it and beat John Cena at Mania.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's working pretty well for Cody Rhodes as being the savior, even though they are in the in Europe. I don't think Cody Rhodes would have gotten less pops if they were in the United States, because the way that it's being set up, John Cena is the biggest heel in the game right now. He comes out there, he shreds the crowd a new one, and then here comes Cody Rhodes to defend all the fans. So I think if it was here, or if it was in Europe, or if it was anywhere in the world, Cody Rhodes would get a good reaction, a good pop being put in this situation. There's a few other points here that I wanted to bring up with Mr. Blood if he's even coming back. Man, we're having some issues today, huh?
He's back.
He's back?
Yeah, he's back.
I don't see him. Let me see. Oh, there he is.
My view is off. There I am. Do you see me now?
Yeah, I see you now.
Okay. Yeah, it kicked me out. We were having technical difficulties. Same thing on everybody else, actually. All their screens look like they have the line through their eye line sight. Okay. But yeah. But go ahead and ask the questions.
Yeah, 1 second.
One.
Just gotta get everyone back in here, I guess.
Welcome.
No, they're all here. They just all have their visibility turned off.
Right.
because I can
Welcome
see everybody.
to Editing City, Snug, where that's all you will be doing this entire episode.
You guys are so
But
bad.
what you did for me, do for them, because they're all in here.
Okay.
But my visibility, they have a slash line drawn through their eye icon next to their names. So do you actually.
All right. Are we good now?
BT is Toxic still has a line through him, and so do you.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, that's all that matters. Don't worry about everything else. So, back to what you were saying, Mr. Blood. You brought up a few good points. Toxic, he says he believes that Cody Rhodes, he's like becoming the savior of the fans because John Cena, he pretty much turned the attention on the fans and was like, look, you guys continue to prove my point of how bad you guys are. You guys are terrible. You guys are the worst. And the fans in attendance are proving his point by cussing at him, booing him, and all these things. So here comes Cody Rhodes, which is I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if you heard it, but Cody Rhodes, I don't think he's just getting this reaction because they're in Europe. I think he would be getting the similar reactions even in the United States because of the position that he's in right now as the savior. He's like the big baby face. So I think that's why the people really like Cody Rhodes promos, even though they're really short or even though he's not saying a whole lot of anything. But he's there to defend the fans, and I think that goes a long way in Europe and even in the United States. But the last thing I want to actually, I have one more thing to say, but I want to hear what Tommy has to say about the promo and also BT Knight. So let's go with you, Tommy.
So, overall, he's right. He truly is. The moment he brought out that spinner belt, the kids loved it, the rest of us hated it. Because it truly is one of, I'm not saying it is the, but it is one of the ugliest WWE titles. It just truly is. It is one of the ugliest world titles that we've gotten. Because, as he said, one of the biggest criticisms of it is the fact that it was a toy. And the WWE title is not supposed to be a toy. That was the biggest thing. And he's right when it comes to, well, for some of us, that we're awful. Because of the fact that, again, he's right. We took this kid's face and we turned him into a massive meme. That is just what the internet does. And with that, even WWE themselves turned him into a meme. They posted on their TikTok and all of that a video of just 30 seconds prior of this kid screaming, "I love you, Cena," with the words, "Little does he know in 30 seconds he will be broken up with." WWE themselves even made this kid into a meme. So everything that Cena's saying is true. Although it may come out harshly, but he's right. And that's what some fans don't understand, is the fact that we truly do not deserve him.
BT?
Yeah, it's hard for me to come up with a lot to say on this because everybody else is on fucking point. But I'll say it like this. What John Cena is doing, this is kind of like being, like he said, it is a toxic relationship because this man has done everything for 25 years just to be respected himself. Even when he had the words hustle, loyalty, and respect, the code in which he lives by, he has never been respected by anybody. And that is the most saddest part of this whole fucking thing. So this is basically revenge. And I really hope he can do it. I really hope he wins at WrestleMania and he gets his revenge, because many people can view this as a bad, like the bad guy, but it is fully justified and every single one of them deserve it.
So ever since John Cena turned heel at Elimination Chamber, I've been seeing like all these clips coming up from the reality show that they did, the Divas show or whatever, where they made John Cena look like a straight up dickhead, like he was just a bad guy. And after seeing John Cena cut his promo today, I'm like, this is John Cena is not being a heel. He's just being himself. Like, this is how he is in real life. Like, he's just like really serious. And the way that he was cutting the promo today was it just felt different, it felt more real. As compared to like when he was a babyface, it was all like hoorah, hoorah, let's go, we can do it, and everything is all good and shit. But when John Cena said, I'm gonna ruin wrestling, I thought that was amazing, because you're right, BT. He's gotten a lot of hate throughout his career. I'm pretty sure he's even gotten "you can't wrestle" chants at one point in his career. And he's like, all right, you want to hate on my belt? You want to hate on me? You want to hate on, then I'm really going to ruin wrestling. I'm going to take that belt and I'm going to take it home with me. So many things can happen here, you guys. Like I said before, what if we get another spinner belt? Or what if this is a way to kind of like unite the belts, and instead of having two world champions, two main champions, Cena wins it, he retires it, he takes it home, which by the way I think is deserving, and then we're just left with one main champion. I wouldn't even be against that. I think that would be actually pretty good. But what do you guys think about that, Mr. Blood? Let's go with you first.
I mean, I don't see it as a bad idea for a future storyline where, who's the real champ, because they basically be running that back from Cena versus Punk way back in 2011 and all that. But I don't know if I want to see that, because we've seen that story with Cena involved in it before. Who's the real champion? And in a
But
way,
it
we kind of
wasn't.
saw
It
that with,
wasn't. Was it like that? Like was.
yeah, two different titles. Yeah, and they had two different championship belts. Yeah.
But this time Cena would retire it, and he would just take it home, so we would be left with
Yeah,
one.
but then he's still got to come back because he has more dates throughout the year. So odds are he's got to bring the title back at some point. Um, but my thing is like, if they retire the WWE Undisputed Championship, I would be fine with that, because I feel like that title is a remnant of the Vince era, even though it had a slight redesign, I think, right after Vince was, kicked out the second time. But in my opinion, minus the fucking WWE logo on the World Heavyweight title, the World Heavyweight title is a beautiful belt. So in my head, if we're going to retire the WWE Undisputed Champion, the only reason we have that championship is because they had to fuse both of Roman's belts just so he could carry one to lighten the load on Paul Heyman's shoulders. So if they retire it, fine. But if they retire it, I want a more throwback design. Maybe a new reimagined winged eagle belt gets put in its place. I'd be okay with that.
Nice. Toxic, what about you? What do you think John Cena is going to do if he wins number 17? Do you think he's going to retire it? Do you think what do you think about all this?
I feel like it would just be another Kevin Owens thing. Like, when he took the winged eagle and refused to give it back. If John Cena won, he would take the undisputed WWE Championship, go home, never get it back, and then we have to run Cody and Cena back probably just so we can get the title back.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I would see happening if Cena won the title.
Really quickly, Mr. Blood. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just had an idea. What if John wins the title and instead of taking it home, he hands it over to The Rock? Because The Rock said, I want that. He said, I want your soul, but he said, I want it all.
I'm
I
so
want you. I want the soul. I want your championship. What if John wins it and on the grandest stage of them all, the main event, the closing main event of night 2, he hands that championship to The Rock. The Rock holds it up with John Cena raising his hand.
and then he gives it to Travis Scott. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm glad you bring this up, Mr. Blood, because that was another
Woo!
thing that I was wondering. We haven't heard from The Rock. The Rock was the one
Tell me I cooked.
that
Did
started
I cook?
this. Wait, hold on. And that was one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys. Like, how is The Rock gonna get involved in all this? We still got time. I mean, it's The Rock. I'm pretty sure he's gonna find a way to involve himself some way or somehow in the main event of WrestleMania. Is that what he wants? Does he want John Cena to give him the belt if he wins it? But what if he does win it, Mr. Blood? I'll bite. I'm with you. What if John Cena wins it? He hands it to The Rock. Why does The Rock want it? Why, like, what is he gonna do with
Because
it?
The
Defend it?
Rock, because no, The Rock, I mean, think about it. Maybe he could defend it because guess what? If The Rock has it, I'm the final boss. I am the boss of bosses, the champion of the champions. So think of the possibilities. You get a run back of CM Punk versus The Rock for that title. You get the match of Reigns versus The Rock that we didn't get for that title. There's stories that can be told here. You get Cody versus Rock, something that was already hinted at a year ago. Don't you ever break my heart again. The possibilities here are endless. If John Cena winds up going, I want it. I never said I needed to hold it. I just wanted to win it. I broke the record. Here you go. And The Rock goes out at Mania with his hand held high with that title. John Cena's raising his arm. Travis Scott's in the corner, rubbing out his sage. Cody's beaten, broken, bloodied on the ground. Louisiana goes out with
Las
a
Vegas.
fucking whimper. Or Las Vegas goes out with a fucking whimper. And then the next story to be told is, hey, now if I'm the final boss, who's gonna be the hero?
Mm-hmm.
You
Tommy,
you want this? You got to jump through my hoops.
Tommy, what do you think is gonna happen if John Cena wins 17 with the title?
There's one thing that I would love to happen. Although, with Cena's whole, oh, y'all don't get what y'all want, I don't think this is going to happen. But this would be interesting because I have a feeling that there is a reason why he brought up that spinner. I think there is a reason to that. And that reason is I think he wins it at WrestleMania. If he does hand it to The Rock, then he hands it to The Rock. Hopefully not, but if he does, he does. But the reason why I think he brought up the spinner is because if he wins it, he's bringing it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one of the first things I thought too. BT, what do you think John Cena is going to do with the belt if he wins it, number 17?
I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes to the belt, but what I would love to see happen is basically give karma to the John Cena Glazers. Have John Cena squash everybody continuously, week after week after week. And Watch how quickly those motherfuckers are going to change their tune, because they're always around talking about John Cena was amazing when he kept on winning and burying talent. Like, motherfuck. Like, they're hypocrites, right? But the second thing I want to see happen is when all hope is lost, R-Truth saves the day. Come on. R-Truth needs to beat his childhood hero to save the day. He needs to at this point. It makes perfect fucking sense.
What's
Jesus
up?
Christ.
Long-term storytelling.
All right, you guys. All right, let's move
Talk
on.
about getting heat.
Let's move on.
What's up?
Because up next we had a tag team match. Jey Uso's mystery partner was revealed, and everyone thought it was going to be Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. No, it was not. It was Jimmy Uso. Like we pretty much, all us sane folks pretty much expected this. And all you crazies out there that were thinking Joe Hendry, I don't know where you guys even got that from. But this was Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. And they're back together for the very first time they tag team together in 1.5 years. The last time, this is according to Michael Cole. Michael Cole explained this when the match started, that last time they teamed together was when the Usos faced Roman and Solo, where Jey pinned Roman Reigns. And so it was good to see the Usos back together. It was also good to see this match because it wasn't a squash match. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, the A-Town Down, they were competitive tonight. You know, not compared like last time where Austin Theory got beat in less than 30 seconds. Unfortunately for us Austin Theory fans, Austin Theory still took the pin. He took the 1D from the Usos, which is another version of the Dudley Boys 3D, and the Usos won the match. But there was a afterbirth in this match. Gunther pulled up to the ring, and attacked the Usos from behind. And they're trying to tell a new story. There was a new incident that happened during this afterbirth. During this match, Jey Uso was going to hit Gunther with the spear, and he slipped. Now, there's the haters out there that were saying that was a botch and that was unintentional, but Jey Uso made it look really good. This was part of the story that they were telling in the ring. Jey Uso sold it like $1 million, but now they're trying to say Jey Uso is literally, he's been slipping the past couple of weeks, and if he keeps on slipping, Gunther might actually defeat him at WrestleMania. Jey Uso is not going to be able to beat Gunther at WrestleMania. So they're giving us a little bit more, it seems like, on this feud. Because that's one of the things that we've had a lot of criticism about when it comes to Jey Uso and Gunther's feud. We might even get into a whole nother episode about it if you guys are still down for that. But that's what happened on this episode of Raw when it comes to Gunther and Jey Uso. Toxic is not here, so I'm going to go with you first, Tommy. What did you think about... oh, wait, he is here?
I'm about to say, one, he is here. He's currently eating.
Okay, well, he wasn't here a second ago. So then,
There he is.
I'm gonna start with Toxic first, and then we'll go on to the next person. Because Toxic, you said you had a lot to say about this, so go for it, dude.
Amazing match, really. Love seeing the Usos in the ring together, but that's not where I want to focus my point. This motherfucker, Gunther, proves my point from 2 SmackDowns ago. Proves my point once again. He can't do anything to prove that he's gonna actually beat Jey at WrestleMania except attack. He's like a tiger. A German one, if you want to be comedic like that. He can't do anything. He wants to prove that he can beat Jay. He needs to beat Jimmy next week because they have a match next week. After Jimmy bitch slapped Gunther, which he deserved. Gunther deserved that slap. So, yeah, Gunther just proves my point once again. 4 letters, one word.
All right, let's go with you, Tommy.
For one, we thought just because we were in good old Glasgow that we would be eating, but sadly we were not eating.
I don't get it.
We were believing and yeeting.
Oh God.
We were eating.
No, that's not a thing, Tommy. Stop. That's not a thing.
But it felt good to finally see these two in the ring. Although, this is what I'm going to say on this. Once again, Gunther has proven that he can't do anything except tag Jay from behind. Once again. That's all he does for weeks on end, ever since Jay won the Rumble and declared for Gunther that he can't do anything except attack him from behind.
Bro, do I have to watch my mouth?
No, you good.
He's a pussy. Gunther's a pussy.
My brother says Gunther's a pussy.
All right, BT, let's hear from you.
Oh my lord. Okay. To the Jey Uso haters, what is it that you continue to hate?
What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Hold on, everyone. 1 second.
We're going to let BT restart.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know. It's the first time the host has ever gotten kicked.
Oh, that's so fucking stupid.
Well, your visible icon is slashed through, so just make sure that that's unchecked on you so everybody else can see you because we can. But you guys can all see him, right? Tommy, can you see? Can you see Edgar?
Yes, I can see him.
All right, all right, all right. We'll just give him a minute and we'll reset, and we'll let BT start over again.
Go ahead, BT.
All right.
All right. All right. To the Jey Uso haters, what is it you hate about Jay so badly? Is it because you're still butthurt over the fact that Jimmy is fucking injury prone? Is that the reason why? Because he got fucking hurt in 2020 and they had to fucking... They had to adjust the story of the bloodline to make it make sense. So they put the right-hand man as Jey Uso. It's not Jay's fault that Jimmy is fucking injury prone. Because not only that, he wasn't just injured in 2020. He was injured after the fucking Money in the Bank match in 2023. Like, between Roman and Solo and Jimmy and Jay. He was injured after that as well. And then, the most discombobulated heel turn of all time. It will never make sense to me. Why the fuck did he have to turn heel? Jay should have fucking won the title then. He should have. But because of the Cody and Roman story... But, yeah, that's what I really want to focus on. What is it specifically that you hate about Jay? And if you're just going to make fun of him every time he trips, or every time he botches, but yet you'll let Jimmy get away with calling the US title the US tag titles.
That's probably why they did that. That's probably why they did that slip up spot today, because of all the criticism Jey Uso got last week when he tried to jump over the ropes. But sorry, go ahead, BT.
Selective outrage. I have been complaining about it on my TikTok page, BT Knight. Check it out on TikTok. Continuously. Motherfuckers are comparing Jey Uso to Santino Marella. Motherfuckers are comparing this motherfucker to fucking R-Truth. Simply because he thinks he's a comedy gimmick. Because he says yeet.
I saw people compare Jey Uso to Stone Cold Steve Austin recently. As far as like, Austin wasn't the best in the ring, but he was super over and had a catchphrase that was super over.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Steve Austin was booked as a badass. Steve Austin was booked as one of those motherfuckers where if he got hit and was bleeding, he would still fucking pack a punch. He would not back down. That's a big difference. Jey Uso would never do that.
Yeah.
He would at least suffer for a bit before he would start fighting back.
Yeah.
That's sort of the comparison you would put to Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes gets busted up continuously, and yet he still throws punches. That's the shit you would compare Steve Austin to Cody Rhodes for.
I mean, I think Jey Uso gets a lot of hate because he's not for everyone. Like, he's like more for like the younger crowd. Like, he's like cool, you know. He has the cool tattoos, and you know, he has the yeet, and a lot of people don't get it. And like, if you're in your mid 40s watching wrestling today, you're probably like comparing him to like Jacob Fatu, for example. Like, oh, this guy, he's not. He's, you know, just like there's a lot of things in wrestling that aren't for me either. You know. So I think that's why a lot of people get Jey Uso gets a lot of hate on that. But let's go with you, Blood. What did you think about this match and what we saw afterwards with Gunther?
I thought it was a really good match, honestly. And as far as Austin Theory is concerned, so reports came out that last week, because John Cena's segment went way over time, they had to cut a couple things. And they said that's a potential contributing factor as to why Jay wound up squashing Austin. Apparently, their match was supposed to go like 10 minutes.
Can I ask a question? How stupid is that if they're on Netflix?
Exactly, because remember when originally when they were talking about the deal, they said that, well, we don't have a time cap. The sweet spot is 2.5 hours, but we can always go longer if we need to, or if we choose to, because there's nothing live coming on before or after them. So that slot is for them, but they decided to stick with the 2.5 hour format. That's fine. But homie, like an extra half hour on some shows, if you feel like you got to use it, use it. Don't tell us that, oh, you know, it was the same thing. We had a bunch of segments in January getting randomly cut off at the end of the shows that we wouldn't even get to see the ends of. Because remember, I would get super angry about it. It's like, dude, then keep utilizing the time space. But that being said, this was a really good match. Of course, I don't know why Austin Theory had to eat the pin 2 weeks in a row when Grayson Waller's right there. I don't know if they're still doing the breakup story with these two, but it keeps feeling like they are because they keep teasing it. But it's like, dude, why don't you let Grayson eat some shit too? Stop just putting it all on Austin.
It's always Theory, dude. It's always Theory.
Because here's the thing: between the two of them, Austin is the much better wrestler. Grayson is the better talker and has the more charisma, better personality. Together, they are each other's strengths, where the other one is weaker in those areas. That's why they work so well together. But at the same time, you got to do something, because Grayson Waller's like 36, 37 years old, and Austin Theory is like 28. So at some point, I want Austin Theory's singles career to get back on track here. And you can turn Grayson into a mega mid-card heel. That's fine.
You know
But
what's
when it
my
comes to
concern, Blood? When you say that, you know what's my concern? Like I'm afraid that they're gonna beat Austin Theory down to the point where they're not
where
gonna be
there's no
able to.
credibility,
Yeah,
where there's no credibility. And I completely understand. That's why I wonder if they're trying to build up all this sympathy from the crowd, giving him slight baby face reactions on purpose by letting him do the whole funny yeet thing where he's a fan of Jey Uso. And so eventually when
mm.
Grayson snaps on him, it'll turn him into a baby face by proxy. Because people hate Grayson. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to the match was awesome. I don't know why Michael Cole said this is the first time these two have tagged in a year and a half. That's bullshit. They were just on a team together at Survivor Series. Um, so
Not in a tag
um,
team match though.
War games. That's teams.
Not no, but
So
like a tag team match. That was not a tag. That was a
okay.
fucking.
So you do realize that tag teams aren't just 2-on-2. They're 3-on-3. They're 6-on-6. You're tagging in and out as a team.
The
Tag.
definition
We're a
of a
team.
tag team is 2 versus 2.
No, the definition of a tag team is where you're not in the ring and doing a tornado tag.
It's tag
Tag
team.
team means you're tagging in and out on a team. Tag team.
War
It doesn't
you
start
you
war
don't
games is
tag
two people.
anyone. You don't tag anyone in war games. It's everyone
Well,
versus
buddy,
everyone.
if that's the case, then why on earth do they have trios titles in AEW for tag teams?
Well, they call
So
them the
now
trios titles, but they're not called
they call
tag
the
team
trios.
titles.
They're called the trios tag titles.
But exactly, but not tag team titles because they're trios. It's a 6-man.
So be,
It's 3 versus 3. It's 6-man tag, not tag team. Tag team is specific to 2 versus 2.
No, it's not because the Shield were in tag team matches and they tagged in and out. 6-man tag.
Yeah, 6-man tag is not the same as tag team.
It's still a tag. It's oh my. Okay, it's still a
Regardless,
team match.
that's
It's still a
why
team match.
that's why
All right,
Michael
all right,
Cole
all right.
said
Let's all right. Listen.
since they've been in a tag team match together, it's been over a
Listen,
year and a half.
listen, listen, listen.
I'm listening
I digress. With you over here with your upper lip and shit. Look,
because
as
I'm
far
right.
as it's concerned, so's your upper lip. Look, but as far as it's concerned, when it comes to the spot where he slipped, I don't think it was a botch. I think it was purposeful. I think that they're actually feeding into the story of Jay is losing his grip. He's slipping, making mistakes because he's doubting himself. And I think that's the story they're trying to tell. Is that the story originally is that Gunther doesn't believe that he can beat Jay without underhanded tactics, right? That's why he keeps going against all these people who are fodder to him, but still struggling. He's losing his edge. Now they're trying to tell the story of, well, it's not just Gunther who's slipping and having confidence issues and losing his edge, it's Jay as well. So it's an interesting dynamic where you have the baby face who is slipping and making mistakes because he's got a confidence issue and he's got self doubt. And it's a really cool thing that your world champion, who's usually this monster fucking just destroyer final boss esque character, who is always confident, always on the mark, never makes a mistake, is now here off the mark, self doubting, making mistakes. And I think that's cool that we're getting that same story told from two different perspectives and two different ways. I also, and another reason I don't think it was an actual botch is because Gunther was immediately ready just to put him to the ground in the guillotine and start punching him in the stomach. He didn't, there was not a moment there where he blanked for a second on like, oh shit, well, what am I supposed to do now? Like, like even Jay got into position to get into that headlock. So, and then when you have the segment backstage where when he gets the taste smacked out of his mouth, I mean, dude, Jimmy smacked that boy so hard, bro's cavities flew out. But I mean, that was a stiff slap. Um, but when it came down to it, I like that they're versing next week because this also tells a story. Remember, everybody said that Jimmy and Jay, they're equals in the ring, but on the mic, Jimmy is better, right? But they are equals because they were an even 50-50 tag team the majority of their career. So and they have the exact same move set, splash, super kicks, and they both do the spear. So the one would think that if Jimmy is essentially going to be the test for Gunther, if Gunther beats Jimmy next week, that's probably going to reboost Gunther's confidence. Like, I beat your brother, and you guys are just as good as each other. So if I can beat your brother, I definitely can beat you. Oh, wait, I have 3 times. But if he struggles against Jimmy, and maybe Jimmy almost wins, right? Let's say, what if Jimmy almost wins next week? What if he does win? What does that do to Gunther's confidence? And what does that do to Jay's confidence? Because Gunther's will go even further out here, and Jay's is going to start trending upward. Well, if my brother can beat you, I know I can. So I'm excited for it, and I hope that's the main event next week, so it gets some really good time.
Let's go with you, Tommy, real quick.
So what I was going to say with this is the fact that I am truly excited for this match because it's going to be big, and most likely it will be in the main event, because if it's not, they're clearly doing something wrong. But I do digress with that. If Jimmy beats Gunther, it's very clear that Jay's odds way higher. Because Blood's right. These two have the exact same move sets, the exact same style, almost the exact same everything, because of the fact that they're twins in general. So if Gunther loses to Jimmy, his mindset goes super low.
I don't see Gunther losing any matches before WrestleMania, even versus Jimmy. But we'll see what happens. That backstage segment with Jimmy and Jay, where Jimmy was trying to pep talk Jay Uso, and then you see, Gunther literally right around the corner. And this was right after Gunther just attacked both of them. Gunther standing right around right around the corner. Jimmy Uso just walks up, maybe he takes 5 steps, and he confronts Gunther. I don't know. I just thought that was kind of ridiculous. Hey, Jay, hey, bro, he's right here. He's right in front of us. Let's go get him. No, he just walked over there. It was a little
awkward.
Yeah,
because it was a little awkward, because you would think, well, at the angle that hallway was on the side of the staircases, Gunther would have had to have literally, because Jimmy enters the hallway around the corner of the stairs.
Mhm.
If Gunther was going that way, he would have had to have seen the two just sitting there when he was entering the hallway, and they would have had to have seen him plain as day. So he's hold on, bro. And it's well, Jimmy saw him, but Jay didn't. And he just walked right around the corner. Hey, yo!
And I thought we were gonna.
You don't hear that?
I thought we were gonna see a brawl or something, and then Gunther's just standing there, he just attacked these guys. He's just standing there, not even raising his hands up or anything. Oh shit, I'm about to get in a fight again, and he just fucking eats that slap, and Jimmy just walks away like nothing happened.
Smack the baby teeth out of his mouth.
I'm just what the fuck is going on here? But anyway, other than that, the slap was really good. I want to talk about the debut that we saw tonight. WWE has officially debuted a brand new luchador, El Grande Americano. Definitely not Chad Gable. This guy, he had the video package. This guy, he comes from a long lineage of wrestling. This guy has been wrestling for years. He is a Mexican legend. I would know that because I'm Mexican myself. I grew up watching this guy in the luchador scene in Mexico, and ever since I was little, I always knew he's gonna make it to the WWE, and he finally did. And us Mexicans are so proud of him. And he came out and he faced Dragon Lee in his debut match, looking way more better shape than Chad Gable, way more tanner than Chad Gable, and just what a great Mexican luchador this guy is, El Grande Americano. Mr. Blood, I see you hand your hand up, but I'm gonna go with Tommy first this time, and then we'll go from there. What did you think about the video package, the debut? And
you went first with him last time.
No, I went with Toxic first. And then, the match, and everything that we saw here with this, Tommy. Go ahead.
Who wants to tell him? Who wants to tell him? Because that's Chad Gable.
I don't know.
It's Gable.
I
For
haven't
sure.
seen him since I was a kid, so I'm telling you
It
guys.
just seems a little bit suspicious here that all of a sudden Chad Gable gets sick and facing Dragon Lee is no longer Chad Gable, but instead is this random luchador. No. Just no. That is Chad Gable. It is very clear that it is Chad Gable. There's no way it's not.
I don't know, man. He's really big in that Mexican underground luchador scene. Just saying.
That entire thing was fake.
You wouldn't know. You're not Mexican, Tommy.
He brought up what I was thinking during all of that. Why in the world is he looking so young, but yet every single one of those pictures were in black and white?
It's we age like fine wine, I guess. I don't know.
All of them were in black and white. Everything in that video package was in
There's
black
no
and white.
color TV in
like
Mexico. We can't afford color TV in Mexico, Tommy. But you wouldn't know that, would you? You wouldn't know that
pictures.
Because you're so uncultured.
They were all pictures.
Cameras too. They're all black and white. All of them. All right. BT, help me out here, BT. What did you think about all this?
One, I didn't see the match because I was fucking bored of.
Oh my god. What in the... What is happening? Oh my god.
Edgar, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. What the hell is happening?
No,
I don't know. Just again, make sure your visibility switched back on.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear and see you, but I mean your visibility for your audience.
No, yeah, they can see me. They can see me.
Then
BT.
turn it off.
All right. Take 627 in this bitch. Jesus Christ. All right. One, I didn't watch the Ultimo Maga match. Okay, that is a way better name than the fucking shit that they gave him. Okay. 2, I hate to break it to you, Snub, but you're falling into the Mr. America gimmick all over again. You're basically the fucking dumbass that actually believes that Hulk Hogan and Mr. America are two separate people. Chad Gable and fucking Ultimo Maga are the exact same cunts. I swear to God, the same skin tone. The same fucking... Oh my God. They have the same tone of voice. They just speak in different languages. That's all it is.
They had a lie detector test for Mr. America that proves it was not Hulk Hogan.
Bruh, everybody knew
Lie detector
that
tests.
it was...
Lie detector tests are inadmissible in court because they can be tricked.
Not wrestlers' court.
Bruh. Do you know how many people take lie detector tests and lie? They still continue to lie? It's just that the machine doesn't even bother to pick it up at the moment? Or it was just the fact that it was programmed by some fucking dickhead to go, yes, he's actually telling the truth. Like, brother. What happened to the...
He had a sick note. It couldn't have been Chad Gable. He can't wrestle.
He can't Bruh, this is the same cunt that was supposed to win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 40. This is who was supposed to win the IC title at WrestleMania 40. This is who Sami Zayn stole that moment from. What the fuck has happened to him? This comedy gimmick bullshit is burying him. And I'm so sorry for him, bro. He deserves so much better. That's my crash out.
Toxic?
Okay, Snug, just, you're full of fucking shit. If you watch him growing up, when he first appeared, you would have been like, oh, that's it, that's whatever the fuck his name is. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, he's here. Did you do that? Hell no. That is 100% Chad Gable doing this Scooby-Doo ass shit, and they're gonna finally beat him, and like, alright, it's time to see who's under the mask. Chad Gable! It's Chad Gable, 100%.
He was my idol when I was growing up in Mexico as a little kid.
You're full of fucking shit.
I met him and I took a picture with him when I was a kid, so how you guys gonna tell me?
Proof. Show the picture.
I will. I'll post it.
Okay, do it.
Alright. Mr. Blood,
Bro's gonna go Photoshop it.
All right, so aside from the fact that I know you're being a facetious little asshole right now there, Edgar, because I Googled when I watched that segment on YouTube, I Googled that name just to make sure it wasn't an actual other wrestler, a real lucha libre in history that they were just borrowing the gimmick from. Yeah, didn't exist until yesterday. But also, as far as it's concerned, here's the funny thing about that entire promo package for him, or that video package. It was not all black and white, Tommy. There was gold and color and everything. Here's the problem. The body type of that guy was different in every single picture from shoulder span to bone structure. And I noticed when I paused it in several areas, look closer, it was AI generated. So
well,
it was AI generated.
On you guys. What you guys don't know, and this is a true story, is that this guy was so big in Mexico, like back in the day, that Starbucks named their drink after him.
Oh, really? They named it the Grande Americano.
Yeah. After him.
Wow. Kind of funny for Mexico. You know what's funny? He said that Mexico you can't afford color TV in Mexico. That's funny because there's a lot of really nice resort spots in Mexico that have these beautiful beaches and condos and 5-star resort hotels that all have TV with color.
Yeah.
Now you live in Cali. You live over in Cali. So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Were you born in Mexico? Because you got a real good American accent.
I have dual citizenship.
Can you tell me the name of the promotion you
Here's
met Great Americano at?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the promotion you met him at?
Rated where the hand
No,
spots
no,
always are.
hold on, Tommy. Hold on, Tommy. Can you tell me the wrestling promotion or the signing or convention you met him at? Off the top of your head, as quick as possible, you can't think about it.
The Chihuahua de Jalisco Mexicali convention.
We're not talking about the size of your upper lip. We're talking about... Now, look, this is an interesting gimmick, but I'm fully with BT on this one. I was really hoping after the really great momentum that Chad had going into that heel turn last year that they were going to turn him into at least an upper mid card, major heel or a main event heel act. And I gotta be honest, I love watching Chad and whatever he does, but I think sticking the Creed brothers with him and Ivy Nile has severely damaged any hope that that's ever going to happen. They're ever going to let him be this serious championship contender level wrestler. Because here's the difference between him and Kurt Angle. The reason they pushed Kurt Angle was because back then, having an Olympic gold medalist on their roster was a massive, hot commodity, never been done before in their industry. And he was just an absolute get. He was the first of his kind. The problem is, we've had several like that since then that were Olympic medalists, like Ronda Rousey and Chad Gable, and you've had what was his name, Gable Steveson, or like all these people who have been these big, Olympic athletes who've come in and or competed in the Olympics, and they were touted as the firsts of whatever they were. And the problem is because it worked so well the first time, like a Kurt Angle, which I mean, talk about a home run off the first rip. It's so hard to replicate and duplicate that same feeling in the audience where yes, they have bestowed those chants on the chat. But the problem is that even though they're booking him in a semi-similar fashion, they booked Kurt Angle where he does do comedy, but when he's in the ring, he's the fucking wrestling machine. The problem is they're not letting Chad win even 20% of his matches, let alone his feuds. And if they're going to give him this gimmick, whatever comes out of this gimmick, he needs to win this feud. Whatever it is, he needs some wins under his belt. And I'm annoyed that they're doing it under the guise of him being this masked wrestler because I'm like, I want him to have wins, but I want him to have wins as Chad fucking Gable. I want that in the history books for him. So his character is pushed, not the pseudo side alternate gimmick that you're giving him that's going to take the credit. I'm like, I want to see his face when the 1, 2, 3 hits. I want to see him get some title shots. I want to see the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile be pulled away from him. Just make them a 2-man and a 1-girl group and let Chad go off and have a singles career like he should have after Sami Zayn, in my opinion. And I don't think I'm alone on that.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room on this episode of Monday Night Raw was the shenanigans that Rhea Ripley pulled last week when she took it upon herself to sign the contract, and Rhea Ripley thought, all right, well, that was easy. This is official. This is a legal document. So if I write my name on it, then it means that I'm going to be a part of this WrestleMania match. So Adam Pearce was supposed to come out to address the situation and clear things up. And it turns out this whole time, Rhea Ripley has a rematch, which I completely forgot about. So I'm thinking, then what the fuck was the point of all of that last week? If Rhea Ripley she has a rematch that she can get at any point at any time, why do all of this? Now, hold on, Blood. Hold on. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky were all in the ring together once again. And we're not going to have a triple threat match. At least it doesn't look like that anymore, thankfully, because we already have one in place with Punk, Roman, and Seth Rollins. We thought we were going to get another triple threat match for this women's championship, but instead, Rhea Ripley is going to get her rematch that she is owed next week with special guest referee Bianca Belair And the winner is going to go to face Bianca at WrestleMania. This whole thing is just like freaking crazy, isn't it? It's like a complete fucking mess because Io Sky is the champion. It should be whoever wins gets to go face Io Sky at WrestleMania. But instead, what the fuck?
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. But instead, it's the champion has to defend before WrestleMania, and if she wins, then she gets to defend her title at WrestleMania. This whole thing it's pretty weird. But next week we're gonna see Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, a rematch, and then I have a feeling this thing is just gonna be one of those hot potato situations. I don't see Rhea Ripley losing to Io Sky next weekend for the 4th time in a row. What the fuck, you guys? Seriously. This time, BT, you're going to go first on this, and then Mr. Blood.
Thank you, Snug. I promise I will be quick. And wrestling gods, please don't kick one of these cunts out. Please. Please. Jesus. Okay. This whole fucking thing has been a mess ever since the Elimination Chamber for the women. Okay? Ever since. And it kicks Toxic out! What the fuck? Jesus! Oh my god.
The wrestling gods
this is
really
gonna be a
hate
mess.
you, don't they, T?
Yes! Oh my god. Oh,
It's fine, go on.
Jesus. Alright. Anyway, this has been a mess since the Elimination Chamber for the women's. Okay? We had Bianca Belair win the son of a bitch when she didn't have to win it because she was interjected in her own story with Naomi and Jade, right? Not only that, you put the title on Io, and further the story of Rhea cannot beat Io, just to have Io week after week after week be disrespected by the two people that have a problem with each other. What the fuck? And then on top of that, you had a useless segment with Rhea doing the Shawn Michaels, sign the name on the contract, and then it becomes official for nothing because apparently they had a rematch that was scheduled anyway. Like, this whole fucking thing has been a mess. If we hot potato the title back to Rhea to have Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, or if Io comes in to make it a triple threat, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. Like, that's a good thing, but the thing is, it's shambles. It is fucking shambles. It is a mess. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And yet, these are the 3 women that are supposed to be the fucking faces of the women's division, but are in the shittiest build to WrestleMania. This is more worse than the Jay versus Gunther feud. It is. It is. Because this build-up is discombobulating as fuck. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would you hot potato the title back to every single fucking wrestler that's there, bro? It's pissing me the fuck off, bro. And not only that, whoever walks out of WrestleMania with that title, I'm not sure it's going to make any fucking difference. It's not going to make any fucking difference because if Io walks away with it, she's going to have a dog shit reign. If Rhea walks away with it, what the fuck is she going to do? Have another feud with Liv Morgan's bitch ass? But if Bianca wins it, all that's going to happen is this long ass feud with Naomi. And then Jade's possibly going to interfere. That's all that's going to happen. It's so predictable at this point. but at the same time, unpredictable. Does that make sense? Because they have so many different layers. And usually that's a good thing with Triple H. But the way that they do it is just so discombobulating. I know it sounds weird, but I understand what Triple H is doing. He's doing so many fucking layers, but it's getting so much. It's beginning to be too much. He's doing way too much. And yeah, the segment last week was bullshit. Because if they had a rematch, there was no point for it. So, again, another crash out. But, fuck me. This build-up is worse than the Jay versus Gunther build-up. It is. It is. Point blank period. No what-if buts about it. Nobody can change my mind on it. Fucking worst feud. Swear to God.
All right. Well, Toxic, your mic is on and you were dinging metal or something. But other than that, mute. But other than that, as far as concerned, look, I've said this. This will be the third or fourth time I've had to reiterate this. They messed up with the chamber. Having Bianca in the chamber messed it up. Or sorry, having Bianca win the chamber messed it up. It should have been that either Io or Rhea won the title from Liv initially. Correct? Great. Io in the chamber wins the chamber, challenges Rhea. They tell the story of can Rhea finally beat Io? She's never been able to do it. And Bianca Belair's story remains where the bigger focus and the longer build for her has been with more layers. That's more interesting for her with Jade and Naomi. Then we never have to worry about this bullshit shotgun booking. Another problem is that they keep redoing the same spot to incite the overarching issue where they keep high facing Io. And it's like, dude, this is the third time. And now, I'm sorry, I'm just going to start calling Io stupid. If they've done it to you twice, why do you keep standing in the same spot so they can do it again? It's happened twice. You're an idiot. Okay? Like, legit. Here's another thing that no one's talked about or mentioned. Bianca got booed.
Oh, yeah.
She was the only one out of the three of them that got booed tonight.
Yeah.
They're either going to turn her heel or the audience already feels like she is one, or they're sick of her too. Because I've been sick of her for a while. I've been saying this. She's gotten stale. She needs a heel turn, but she's also doing nothing but like heelish shit.
The promo she cut was Jesus Christ. That time it wasn't me, y'all. This time it was him.
The wrestling gods do not like us, apparently.
See if you'll make me visit. Thank you again. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And as for this match next week, look, the problem here is we're still getting a triple threat.
Wait, Mr. Bud,
Now-
you got cut off. We didn't get your final thoughts when you were saying that Bianca was doing some heelish things, and I wanted to ask
Oh yeah, Bianca was doing okay.
I wanted to ask
Okay.
you, the
Go ahead.
promo that Bianca cut was kind of heelish tonight, right?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. She's been having these heel tendencies. Keep in mind, what I find hilarious to me, right, is that the only reason I can assume that they are edging Bianca to heel is that they're going to have Bianca wind up eventually siding with Naomi so Jade can be the face in their feud. That's what I think is happening here. And they're trying to lay the breadcrumbs for her elsewhere so it doesn't just feel so forced on SmackDown where they're just going to go, it was me the whole time. No, it's because it's like, no, we already did that with Naomi. We can't just do it with you too because you played the victim card. So now, if you go back as a heel, it's going to have to come down to either you were in on it with Naomi the entire time, but then why did you let Naomi get her ass beat by Jade twice? Or it's going to be, you know what, I changed my mind. I decided Naomi was right and I was wrong. And now we think that, Naomi was right. And here's the stupid thing. That match next week, now it's supposed to be special guest referee, right?
Mhm.
So as far as concerned, it's simple. Adam Pearce is the dumbest GM in history. If he wants a decisive fucking match, why on earth would he put the only other person here who has gotten physical with these girls in an altercative way 3 fucking times now? Why would you make them the ref and just assume that they're gonna remain fucking How stupid is that?
Yeah, that's true.
Then you're then you're having okay, because at the same time, because I got a quick fix for you. I got a quick fix. Okay. It's gonna be fucking Io versus Rhea next week, 1-on-1 for a pinfall or submission. No one is allowed at ringside. Everyone is barred from ringside. Bianca, you are barred from ringside.
I thought that's what he was
And
gonna
then,
do at first. Like
yeah,
Bianca, you're not allowed to
but
be out there.
it's but here's the thing. You know what this tells me? Adam Pearce is a fucking gaslighter, bro. He's gaslighting him because he's acting like he's so angry about it, but then he's like, you know what? Since we're gonna have a decisive, definitive winner and outcome, and we're gonna have a clean match, so I have a championship going into WrestleMania. Yada, yada. So you, who has been beating up you, who has been beating up you, who's been beating up those two, who've been beating up each other, to make sure that we get a good, clean win, I'm going to put you and you that have a problem with each other against each other for your rematch. Which, by the way, I'd like to reiterate: didn't we get rid of the rematch clause like 4 years ago, 3, 4 years ago?
What?
Remember that? Yeah, remember that? Where several years ago, Vince McMahon came out and literally said there will be no more rematches. Rematch clause are gone. And we never had a definitive fucking promo that ever reiterated them. Notice how whenever a champion has lost or won lost their title, they've never gotten to invoke the rematch clause. The feud just continues because they keep attacking them to make it more personal. Notice how in every feud, someone will get attacked, from behind, starts a feud, champion loses their title, or whatever. Hey, I want my rematch loss. No, 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 you lost. You got to go to the back of the line. That's what it's been for the last several years. There's never been I'm invoking my rematch clause. That hasn't happened in a long time. So how on earth do we just magically pull the rematch clause back out of the ass that we literally had a whole televised segment 4 years ago where they got rid of it, and they never said it was reiterated or reinstated, and then now that's magically going to be the fucking match for next week, right? And he's like, I want a one-on-one match. Whoever wins is facing fucking Bianca and Mania. It's like, dude, it's going to be a triple threat. You know why? Because it's a special referee match between 3 people who fucking hate each other. Because that always ends decisively without problems, interference, or all 3 of them kicking the shit out of each other. It's going to get turned into a triple threat match because of it.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
it's literally
afraid.
like it's literally like Adam Pearce is gaslighting them to get them into the triple threat. It's like, dude, just make it a fucking triple threat then. Give
Another one
fucking
though.
Give Rhea her rematch clause at Mania in a triple threat. Why
No,
are we making Io defend again right now, 2 weeks before she defends?
no, you're
So
absolutely right
what the fuck
about
is
you're
that?
absolutely right about everything, Mr. Blood. What is gonna happen? Whoever attacks Bianca Belair is basically gonna get disqualified, right? Which
It's
is
gonna be either I bet either Io, because if Rhea disqualifies herself, right, then she forfeits it. So that tells me 2 things have to happen. Either Bianca attacks Rhea because she has more animosity towards Rhea than she does Io. So Bianca's got to attack Rhea, which, pardon me, basically screws over the entire integrity of the match, forcing Adam Pearce to make it a triple threat. Or Rhea attacks Io, sorry, not Rio. Bianca attacks Io, and the match is, and then Rhea's like, well, I'm not going to do it this way either, and it just turns into a massive brawl because neither of the two in the match are going to attack the ref to get DQ'd because that's not the way Io does things. That's certainly not the way Rhea does things. So one has to guess it's got to be Bianca doing something to one of them that gets the match thrown out by Pierce and turns it into a triple threat.
that's crazy. It's gonna be chaotic. I don't remember that segment that you're talking about how there was
Yeah, we
no.
we Does anybody else just nod your head if you remember getting rid of the rematch clause years ago on a TV segment? Like it was literally a segment where they threw it away. They said no more.
Well, if you remember it vividly, then it probably did happen. I mean, but I
I just
just
want to make
don't
sure I'm not
think
alone.
I just don't think that it just. I'm pretty sure we've had at least once or twice a former champion cash in his rematch clause. I'm pretty sure we've seen that at least in the
Not
4
not that I
years.
can not that I can remember because no, because think about it.
No, I don't
Was
remember
there ever a
any.
rematch?
Uh
Well,
huh.
I mean, was there a rematch clause when Roman stole those titles from the Fiend?
I don't know,
You
but
know, like
this
I
is
mean,
something that I do want to like backtrack to. Maybe we can like look it up and next time we
it's
meet we
basically
can
like the
talk about it.
wild card rule. It's like the wild card rule, bro. They pull it out of their ass whenever it's convenient to have someone hot brands, so they can pretend that the brand separation is actually makes sense, that the draft is worth it, and
All
then they
right,
throw it out after a month of using it.
all right. Let's hear from Tommy next, and then Toxic.
Here's what I think is going to happen. It's going to hot potato the Rhea. It just is. As much as I would have loved to have Rhea versus Io at WrestleMania, which is what I think was originally planned, it's not going to happen. But the thing is, unlike Vince, Triple H actually listens to the fans. And that was very clear last year when the whole thing of Cody won the Raw.
I'm not the only one. It's not just me.
I hope you have
It
fun editing,
happened
Snug.
to BT and
This man is
Tom.
gonna be
One,
editing his fucking ass off.
3, 2, 1. So, as I was saying before the site decided to brutally interrupt me, um, crap, my brain. So, unlike Vince, Triple H actually listens to the fans. And it's very clear that when the original title change happened, the fans were pissed because Rhea should not have lost that title. The fans were pissed. They really did not want Io as that champion. They really didn't. So the only way to fix that is either, well, there's two ways. One, just make it a damn triple threat. Or, and honestly, I think this is the more likely option, they hot potato it back to Rhea,
Mm-hmm.
which will give us that massive seat selling match that we've all been wanting between Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. We said it back when the titles first, that title first changed. That is a bigger match than Io versus Bianca. It just is. It is a way bigger match. And at this point, I think that's what we're getting.
Toxic.
I find this whole thing fucking stupid. It is plain, simple. It's fucking stupid. Why? Why? Just why not making a triple threat in the damn first place? You see that they're having issues. Okay, fine. You triple threat at Mania. But no, they want to do you you you. Why did Rhea even lose the title? She shouldn't have even lost. Like you want to put it on Io, and then have Bianca, Rhea, and Io go at it for a couple weeks, and then you want to make Bianca a special guest referee of Rhea and Io's match. And are we really gonna have A title hot potato? Like, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want Rhea to win. I want Rhea to win. But are we really going to have a title hot potato after, what, couple weeks? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? I just don't understand. And why even have Bianca do anything to do with this match? She's just obviously going to cost one of them the match. It's plain stupid.
Hey, really quick, I had an idea. Sorry, I'm doing something. I'll be right back. But really quick, here's the thought: what if Bianca screws over Io on purpose because she wants to settle the score with Rhea Ripley at Mania? So she screws Io out of the title next week on purpose, and then Adam Pearce adds Io back to the match, creating it a triple threat.
Make this man a GM.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on here. I think we can all agree that this freaking thing with the women's world title is a fucking chaotic boil of madness. Um, we also had a women's intercontinental title match, Lyra Valkyrie versus Raquel Rodriguez, which the wrong person won, in my opinion. Lyra Valkyrie pinned Raquel Rodriguez, even with the help of Liv Morgan. We also had CM Punk cut a promo to announce a contract signing with himself, Roman, and Seth Rollins. Also, kind of mentioning the favor and mentioning that Paul Heyman is not only Roman's wise man, and gave a wink to the camera. So kind of teasing more dissension there between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. So we had an interesting promo from CM Punk tonight as well. But I'm going to move on to the main event, which was Penta versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this is a match that I did not expect to see on a Monday Night Raw. I thought we were going to see this match at WrestleMania. I thought that this was what everything was going to lead to, was Penta versus Braun Breaker at Mania. But we saw it tonight. It was in the main event. And the story behind all of this is Penta going to join the Judgment Day? Dom Mysterio has been trying to recruit Penta to join the Judgment Day. We finally got the answer after the match. The Judgment Day got involved. They ended up causing Penta the title. Braun Breaker won by disqualification, so he got to keep his title. Penta was obviously not happy about that. But to all of like the people that just, hey, I know we just got done trashing the booking in the women's title division, but this is a perfect example of Penta's booking being very, very good. It's still making him look good. There's people that are saying like, oh, Penta, he went from being this big deal to wrestling dark matches and wrestling before the show, and he's not even on TV. Oh, how far has Penta fallen? He should have just stayed in AEW. And it's like, well, actually, no. Penta, he's main eventing shows now. He's getting title matches versus top guys like Braun Breaker. He's involved in an important storyline with the Judgment Day. Penta, and Ray Phoenix hasn't even been added to the mix. Now, I don't think they're going to be on the same shows, but the fact that Ray Phoenix is going to be in the same company, there's a lot of great things happening with Penta in the WWE. And I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for the Penta fans. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Mr. Blood, we're going to go with you first this time. What did you think about this main event?
I thought it was great. I mean, Penta's freaking phenomenal. I think he's shown that to the wider WWE audience by this point. I mean, if his first match didn't set you on to him, his second match definitely should have. I think putting him up against, if I remember correctly, he debuted against Chad Gable, right? And I mean, if you wanted to really showcase someone's well-rounded abilities from presentation to in-ring work to their crowd, crowd connection. Putting him up with pairing him with Chad out the gate was just such a smart decision. Pairing him with Braun is an even smarter decision because you're showing all these other people from other companies, other defects from AEW that, hey, like Cody Rhodes, like Penta, like Jade Cargill. We keep telling y'all, you come back over here, it's not like it was when AEW started and had to be that alternative for the last fan. No, 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 no. You got a guy who genuinely cares about the wrestling aspect of things, not just storytelling. And he's going to present you in a way that matters. And for the people here who want to keep complaining that they're Penta this, Penta that. He should have stayed in AEW. Are you kidding? He should have stayed in AEW? No, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. He's only been in the company for about what, a month and a half, maybe now, maybe. Okay, keep in mind, a month and a half. Man, they're already booking him in dark matches, dude. Dude, WWE doesn't even do dark matches anymore, homie. They do live events. And CM Punk was just wrestling Gunther on a live event. So it's not like live events are this death toll, whatever. Everybody does live events on the European
They do
tours.
dark matches
okay?
too, though. But
Yeah, but
there's nothing wrong with
they
that,
really
though.
stopped doing them. It's nothing wrong because if anything, you're just hyping the crowd. What's wrong with doing a dark match? And by the way, and you guys have heard this, and it's now become this kind of joke where you guys have grown at it. But let me speak to the audience here who do bitch about Penta's booking as a former professional wrestler. I would rather be utilized in that stadium that I traveled all the way to, whether I'm on TV or not, because I'm not just in this shit for TV time, man. I'm in it for the love of the fucking game, bro.
Wait, are you a former
I
professional
love.
wrestler?
Shut the fuck up. But as someone who can look at Penta and go, it ain't just about the money, bro. You don't do this shit just for the money unless your name's Goldberg. Okay, you do it because you love it, right? Penta is racking up his bump card, getting his reps in the ring. And so what? We didn't have enough time for you. 1 week out of the 6 weeks you've been here, we didn't have time to put you on the show because we had other stories that had to be told. So you wrestled in the same arena when the show went off air or before it went off air just to hype the crowd up. Who fucking cares, bro? It's one goddamn week. That's like, if that's the case, then I guess you could say that Roman's booking is bullshit because he's only here 9 times a year with that logic. It's stupid logic. No. This is a great match.
Penta debuted January 13th, so he's been with the WWE a little
like a month and a half. Oh, 2 months. Sorry, 2 months. So
I
for
was just
people to
about to
bitch,
say he was in the Rumble 2 months ago.
yeah, so it's literally like, dude, he's been here for a cup of coffee and about a quarter of another cup of coffee. He hasn't even started yet. And they've been giving him great, great match times with freaking Chad. Championship freaking main events to close out the show. Because they could have just stuck him on SmackDown and USA. They said, no, no, no. We're going to put you on Netflix Raw. The thing that is our biggest deal right now in the main event, Intercontinental Championship. We're going to let you go with one of the best guys we have on this roster to close out the show. And we're going to protect you in the finish by having you lose from interference. Okay? So as far as it's concerned, it's like, dude, they're not treating Penta bad. If anything, they're proving that they want to protect his character. They want to showcase him the best way possible. Not everybody can just join the company and get put in the fucking world title picture. Okay? He is a great performer. The crowd loves him. Obviously, he's got great chemistry in the ring with everybody he's with so far. So clearly, he's a safe worker, and he's easy to work with. What's there not to love? What are you complaining about? It's been 2 months, people. Let them keep cooking with him. It's a slow burn, baby. Because eventually, give it 6 months, that dude is he could be tied with Jey Uso in merch sales in 6 months. You don't know. He's really hot right now, and WWE is capitalizing on that. And this was great. It protected him in the finish. Don't have Braun lose that title before Mania. Mm-hmm. Let that title change happen at Mania if it's going to happen at all. But this was a great match. And if people are going to complain about something like this and not think about the fact, the Judgment Day got interviewed. Okay? They're giving him story. Okay? Oh, he lost to Braun Breaker. They're trying not to ruin the title change before Mania, and they still protected him in the loss because of the interference. This is all great for him. It's really, really good for him. Mm-hmm. So stop complaining. and enjoy the ride they're taking you on, because so far they haven't screwed this man up at all. In fact, they're proving to you that they want to do him right, and I'm here for it, bro. It's great. I love seeing him on my TV. I really do.
Toxic.
A little disappointed because Penta didn't win. I really think that he deserves, but it doesn't really make sense to change the title right before Mania, tying into what we just talked about last thing. Yeah, but you understand my point. Um, I didn't understand why they had Judgment Day come out, but then started to realize, wait a minute, they are probably trying to build a good story, but we could possibly see Braun Breaker and Penta versus two members of the Judgment Day, or this could possibly be some way to break up Finn, like have Finn betray. I don't know. It's like Blood said, it's story. You can't just take one look at it and say this sucks. You have to give it time, and I'm all for it. I didn't like the idea at first. I'm like, why put Penta in this? But now I'm seeing what they're cooking up, and I'm starting to like it.
Tommy.
Yeah, we are truly, and not to take the slogan from The Rock, but we are truly seeing and smelling what Triple H is cooking. He's cooking it up. And with people saying, oh, like he should have stayed in AEW, I'm sorry. 2 months into his WWE career. 2 months. And there are already bootleg Penta shirts on TikTok right now. There are already like fake Penta WWE shirts that are extremely hot right now. That people are actually buying. This man absolutely should be in the main event. And let's be honest, at some point, he absolutely will be a world champion. 2 months and he's already this hot, like coming up on Jay. So he's like right on Jay's tail right now when it comes to popularity wise. I mean, Cero Miedo. The entire crowd says it every time. There you go.
PT.
All right, I'm sorry to be Tommy in this situation, but I'm glad that I get to do this for the first time. There is one thing that you poor cunts have fucking forgot. It is the fact that Dominic last week accusingly said that he was speaking to Penta about joining the Judgment Day, which is why they helped him beat Braun Breaker, or disqualified, basically. And Dominic was giving Penta the chair, and he's like, this is part of the Judgment Day. Zero miedo. No fear Judgment Day. No fear Judgment Day. And then what does he do? Chucks a chair to him, kick in the face. Dominic's a dumb cunt. Which is why Finn was losing his shit. Which is why he was losing his shit. And he started getting more aggressive. And if this man does not kick Dominic in the dick next week, I'm gonna lose it. I am gonna fucking lose it. Because Dominic is doing everything in his power to find another member of the Judgment Day. And Finn is just fed up with it. I would be too. I would be too. If I was that fucking delusional, thinking that I can handle everything myself, I would be pissed off too. So, Finn, kick this motherfucker in the dick so hard that he regretted ever turning on his father. Please. Please. I need to see that next week. Please.
So, we're not going to get Penta versus Braun Breaker at Mania, but it looks like this may lead to Finn Balor versus Braun Breaker at Mania, which I'm okay for. Now, I'm good with that too. But also, Penta denied, or he refused to join the Judgment Day So now he has beef with the Judgment Day Penta. So this could be a start of a lot of things. Penta feuding with the Judgment Day could mean eventually he's going to need backup. Maybe that's where somehow Ray Phoenix comes in. Eventually, this could lead to Penta versus Finn Balor. Maybe even the Demon Finn Balor. A Demon Finn Balor versus Penta? I think that would be really dope. But final thoughts on this, you guys, before we get out of here. Go ahead, Blunt.
So I would like to point something out too, is that when the Judgment Day was still its original group, remember that when they were trying to when Finn wanted to add a brand new member in that of JD McDonough, it was Damian Priest and Rhea. Rhea was trying to play peacekeeper, but they all gave him a hard time about JD for months until JD finally became a full-fledged member of the Judgment Day. Now Finn is in that Damian Priest position, and Liv is in Rhea's position trying to play peacekeeper, right? Dom is still in that exact same spot he was, just with the different girl. And it's funny because now you have Finn trying to say, when you listen to Finn, we win, but there's supposed to be no leaders, right? So I think the culmination of this story is going to come somewhere down the line at Mania, where I think the implosion of the Judgment Day happens at Mania. I think it kind of has to. I think that at this point, because we just had JD McDonough's interview with Chris Van Fleet, I think last week or the week before last week, where he was like hoping to come back in the next couple of weeks to a month or two, is what he said. But he said a couple of weeks, hopefully. He's got to go for his bump test. But he's getting pretty close to a return here. And if the Judgment Day turns on Finn, JD could be the nail in that coffin that they're saving for that surprise. Finn brought JD into the Judgment Day, right? What if JD is the one who takes Finn out? You feel me? And then that's going to devolve into a whole nother, version of the Judgment Day without Finn, and then we're going to probably get that Finn singles run out of this. But I think that this is the start of that because they've been doing this whole dissension between Dom and Finn for a while now. And they did this exact same dissension story with Damian and Finn constantly. But before Finn can turn on Dominic, I think Dominic and Liv and Raquel and JD and Carlito, but specifically JD, is going to be that surprise nail in Finn's coffin at Mania.
Yeah, Toxic.
I just want to point out a fact. Notice how every time there's a new luchador in WWE, they put them up against the Judgment Day. For instance, Dragon Lee when he joined the LWO. Andrade when he returned and he started having interactions with Dom. Penta. It's like I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know. I feel like we're gonna probably get if Ray Phoenix debuts in time, we'll probably get the Lucha Bros versus two members of the Judgment Day.
That's a great point, Toxic. The last thing, too, that I thought was really funny about all of this was Carlito saying, maybe I should challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. Anyone else catch that?
Bro, Braun would absolutely demolish this man.
But I want to see it. I want to see it.
Like, I agree with you. I really do want to see it as well. But let's be honest here. Carlito would get absolutely demolished.
Surprisingly, Carlito is actually the worst wrestler in the Judgment Day. He used to be so good, but if you look at how he moves in the ring now and how he wrestles now, he wrestles very lazy. He has become the worst. And that, keep in mind, Liv has become a better wrestler in ring than Carlito in the last 3 years alone. No, let's be real here. Let's be real.
Yeah, WWE World interview with Triple V. If he could still do some of the moves that he could do back in the day.
No.
And his response was no.
Well, okay.
Yeah, he used
We'll
he used to springboard everywhere. I mean, but the problem is that if how come Liv can do a 20-minute banger with Rhea, but Carlito can't make it out of a 5-minute singles match?
all right. We're not gonna get
That
into
tells you
that
everything you need to
tonight.
know.
We're not gonna get into that tonight because we're out of time. Maybe
Oh,
on
you're
another
just upset.
day.
He's not even Mexican. He's
Huh?
not,
Who?
you're just upset. He ain't even Mexican, bro. You ain't got to defend the homie.
No. It's just like that's something like I can sit here and call bullshit on all night, but we'll save it for another day. That was the
Okay,
Monday Night Raw review. And
show me a 4-star Carlito match.
stay tuned for Friday. We're going to get together for Friday so we can go over that. And we're on the road to WrestleMania. We're in the European tour. Don't forget to keep it snug. Hit us up at the Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Leave a star rating, leave a review, follow us on socials. The spinner belt is the worst belt in the whole entire world. Thank you guys.
Get that the hell off of our
Have a
screen.
good night, and we'll see